I'm coming at the haters, they're making me more famous, cause my videos got more force than Darth Vader. Go! Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Turkish Delight, back with another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Thank you for joining me today. The first half of what DICE is calling Season 2 has been out for 3 days now, and we've all had ample time to digest the update with all of the nerfs, buffs, and especially the new game mode, Hero Showdown. I've been playing the new mode quite a bit, and today's video is going to focus on what I think the positives about it are, as well as some of the negatives and how they can be improved. Before jumping into it, I have two things to bring up. First, I want to give a shout out to today's featured commenter. Mandalore41 explains his stance, also shared by the United States government, about not negotiating with terrorists and those who hold our beloved video games hostage. I respect your views, Mandalore. If this specific case were not Star Wars, I would definitely agree with you on this one. If you would like a shot at being a featured commenter in an upcoming video, all you have to do is give the video a thumbs up, leave any old comment down below, and if I like it, I just might feature it in a future video. On top of that, I'm still trying to get a good idea of how many people would be interested in a Make Battlefront 2 Great Again t-shirt. If you would be interested in picking up a shirt, let me know in the comments below, and if enough people show interest, I will get the first prints ordered. And with that, we'll start with the positive aspects of Hero Showdown, and then move on to what can be improved on after. The first positive to mention is just how incredibly tense the one-on-one and one-on-two hero battles are in this mode. Sure, having your partner get taken out can be rough, but being the only player holding down your side is a rush and is a great way to judge your ability with any given hero. Plus, you can have some pretty awesome matchups. Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader and the Emperor? You got it. Han versus Boba? Light it up. Kylo Ren versus Finn and Rey? Sounds like the rematch of the century. You just don't quite get this with the Heroes versus Villains mode, and this is a welcome addition to Battlefront 2. Next, and kind of continuing off of the first point, this mode lets you test your raw skill against other players and encourages a growth of skill and testing of other playstyles. Too many players just don't understand how to play a hero in any given mode. All too often, I see a new player finally save up enough battle points to play as Luke Skywalker, rush in with their lightsaber expecting to get a 100-man kill streak, and then get melted 2 seconds later. Hero Showdown is a good testing ground for different heroes, to understand their strengths and weaknesses and to understand how to effectively play each one. When it gets down to those 1 versus 1 or 1 versus 2 scenarios I mentioned, one really needs to understand and possess the wisdom of Jack Sparrow.
I have only ever embraced that oldest and noblest of pirate traditions. We must fight to run away.
Running away is not considered cowardly in this game, and is actually a tactical thing to do. And it is the single best way to guarantee you stay alive long enough to defeat your opponents. Hero Showdown is a great way to become the best hero player possible. The next positive to mention is the Spectate feature. Now, I don't play many video games outside of Battlefront 2 and Kingdom Hearts, but I know the Spectate feature was a thing on certain other first-person shooter games, such as Call of Duty, and it's awesome to see it make an appearance in Hero Showdown. Giving you the ability to watch your teammate take on the enemy and cheer them on is a treat, and seeing the tactics they use to play is a good point of comparison for yourself, so you can contrast and see where you stack up in terms of your level of skill. Are you a better player than your partner? Maybe try sticking around with them for the rest of the match so you can back them up. Or is your partner better than you? Study their playstyle, see when they dodge and when they attack. You may pick up a few things for the next round. Major props to DICE for putting the Spectate feature into this game mode. Finally, I'm very happy to have Jabba's Palace back in the game. This was the most colorful map from the Outer Rim DLC in Battlefront 2015 and was a personal favorite of mine in Extraction mode. The map makes an appearance in Battlefront 2 in the modes Hero Showdown, Heroes vs. Villains, and Blast. It looks fantastic and works just as well as I remember it from the first game. The tight, narrow corridors make for some great close quarters combat, and the more open rooms are a good option for lightsaber duels, where there is less risk of getting hung up on obstacles. As great a map as it is, however, it makes for a good segue into the first negative aspect of Hero Showdown that I believe can be improved on in later updates. First off, and pretty importantly, we need more maps in Hero Showdown. Jabba's Palace is great, but I cannot be the only player it is getting old for already. When you're absorbed into a game mode, only playing on a single map over and over again can make the experience stale pretty quickly, and I know I would love to have some new maps get introduced into Hero Showdown to keep things spicy. A few I can think of off the top of my head would be a section of Mos Eisley, maybe the Emperor's Throne Room as a new addition to the Death Star 2, and maybe even the Carbonite Freezing Chambers from Bespin from Battlefront 2015. DICE seems to be on a roll with porting some of the best maps from the first game into Battlefront 2, and I would personally love to see the Freezing Chambers come back, as it was my favorite map besides the Bionip Laboratories from the Bespin DLC. The next negative I want to touch on is the ridiculous waiting time that goes on when players leave a lobby. I've been stuck on a wait screen for minutes at a time, waiting for that last person to join the game, only to have the other two players get impatient and leave as well, forcing me to sit through another load screen just to try and find a new game. It is quite irritating, and I think an easy fix for it would be to just let the game start when 3 people are in a match. I have the same complaint with Heroes vs. Villains, where even if one side has all 4 players ready to go, if the other team has 3 players, the match will not start until that 4th player has joined. I think DICE should make it so that the match just starts when there is a certain percentage of players ready and available, like in Blast and Galactic Assault. This would be an easy fix and would cut down on wait times significantly, plus encourage some more badass 1 vs. 1 or 1 vs. 2 gameplay. Which is, in fact, the next negative point I want to bring up. Before starting a match, the teams need to be balanced, but if at some point, either during a round or in between rounds, if 1 or more people leave the game will be put on hold until the teams are balanced again, whether that means 1 player on each side or 2. The next round will then resume even if it's a one-on-one scenario. I think the match should start like this as well. If it allows a round to start with less than 4 players, I see no reason to make players wait for a lobby to fill up completely before beginning the match from the start. And finally, my last issue with this game mode is also an issue that I have with the game in general. We need more hero options to choose from. The current 8 that we have on each side are great, and they're fun, but they're the same heroes that we've been playing with for the last 7 months now. 5 months for Finn and Phasma, but that is a long time without any new heroes to spice up the game. And to release a game mode that centers around heroes without including any new additions to the current roster was a mistake, I think. It's not a deal breaker by any means, because the mode is technically new content, and it is enjoyable when you can get into a match, but it just leaves a lot to be desired, and I know the community has been in an uproar for new heroes, specifically Clone Wars era heroes like Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Grievous, and Ventress for a while now. Seeing new heroes and villains would add so much more to the game mode, and to the game in general. I know this issue isn't exactly an easy fix, since heroes take a lot of time and resources to develop and get working properly before they can be put into the game. Besides, 2 days ago, community manager Ben Walk recently replied to a tweet asking about new heroes, saying if we, as in DICE, had heroes made, we would release them. So we should all take that to mean that new heroes should not be expected before August, I would say. Maybe even September to be super realistic. It's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of where the state of the game is at right now. But not to end this video on a negative note, all in all, I think the new game mode, Hero Showdown, is a great addition to Battlefront 2. Ewok Hunt being made permanent with this second season as well brings a whole new level of gameplay variety to Battlefront 2, and should hopefully keep players content, occupied, and grinding for credits for the next few weeks, until the second part of this season drops in June. That's all I have for you today. If you are a new viewer, consider becoming a subscriber to stay up to date with all content from this channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to receive all future notifications. I appreciate you all joining me today, and I will see you all out on the battlefront. Peace. Yeah, we sipping all our problems away.